Now, answering your questions about the law and legal issues. This is Legal Break with attorney Gary Bruce.
And I'm Maureen Akers. Welcome. Welcome, Gary.
Good to be here.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you. Today's question. Gary, how can I prove that the other driver was at fault for the wreck?
Another Google question, and I think we touch on this a lot, but I think primarily where you start is with the police report, because it's going to have a lot of information in it. But now you get out of your car, you take pictures if you can, you listen for people to say things. You might be kept from other people so you don't hear them. You might not have that opportunity, but witnesses, of course, are very helpful. Yeah. Identify them. Photographs can be done, but police report has a lot. And it'll have observations, and the officers usually make notes of admissions or what people say. And the other thing is they have dash cams, they have body cams. These things are changing the gathering of evidence, and a lot of things are preserved that really in the old days we kind of had to recreate, you know. So there should be a lot of information available right there to prove liability, because if you are making a claim either for your property damage or for an injury or for whatever reason, and you want to prove the other person is at fault, the burden of proof is on you. Yeah. And you have to prove it by a preponderance of the evidence. That means more likely than not. It's not like a criminal case where the burden is beyond a reasonable doubt. That's like boom, you know, a big deal. But we're talking about tipping the scales, and evidence is critical. So generally, though, I mean, even though the burden is different, frankly, most juries want to see, they want to say 100%, so gather what you can.
Everything you can help. Okay, so what if you don't know if there's a problem or an issue until later on? I mean, how do you prove that?
And that's what happens. You know, everybody says, oh, I'm sorry at the scene, and then later you having to deal with the aftermath of it, and now all of a sudden people change their story, or the insurance company says, well, wait a minute, it wasn't our fault. And so now what do you do? Now it's later, you can't go back and gather. Those dash cams are a big deal. But I will say this, you can get medical records that sometimes identify issues and facts. You can get phone records that sometimes identify facts that are very helpful. We retain experts at times who can go to the scene, use the evidence that was gathered, and then recreate facts. There are black box issues. You know, there's all kinds of monitoring going on in vehicles that it's there, it just costs money to get out. And if you don't know you need it, you can still get a lot of this stuff later. So all is not lost, but you got to act quickly.
There you go. Thanks. Thank you, Gary.
Thanks.
We'll see you on the next Legal Break.